In this video, we are going to create a Java Servlet. First, we are going to create our new dynamic web project in Eclipse. We can go to File and New, and can go to Others. And under Web folder, can select Dynamic Web Project and then click Next. And over here, you need to give the project name. I will give it Simple Form, and then click on Next. Then Next. And then click on Finish. We can open it with the Java EE perspective. Click on Open Perspective. And now under the Java sources, there's a source folder. You can right click on the source folder and then click on New. Then click on Servlet, or if you don't find Servlet over here, you can click another, then you will be able to find it. So I have Servlet over here, so I'm going to click on that. And in this create servlet wizard, you have to enter Java package if you want. I will enter a sim.code, and the servlet name or class name will be form servlet. Form servlet, and then click on next. And this will be form servlet mapping, and this will be the name. Then click on next. Over here, you can select the method that you want this wizard to create for you. I will leave these checked, doPost and doGet, and then click on Finish. We have this servlet now, and over here you can see this annotation at web servlet. It tells the server container that our class servlet is a servlet, and we don't have to add the servlet in a web.xml file, so it is not required to declare in a web.xml file. If we use this annotation over here, and this is the URL mapping for this servlet, I will change this to make it more simple, such as form. So we can just write form after our project name. And the servlet container also created for us the doGet and doPost method. If we scroll down, we can see doGet and the, the doPost over here. I will scroll more down so we can see doPost, and added some code inside. I will change that one. The doGet method is called when we make a get request to the servlet, and doPost method will be called if we are going to make a post request. In doGet method, I will create a simple form, and when we submit that form, it will be a post request, and this doPost method will be called, and we will process that form and get those input values and print it over here. I will remove this code and add a code to generate a simple HTML form. I will add all the HTML code to a string builder. String builder. And I'll name it form, and then create object of it, string builder, and pass in some HTML. Then later on, I'm going to keep appending on to this string builder until we have our form. So here I will add a heading, and inside the heading I will put text simple form, and then close the heading. And in the form I will append form and its method. It's gonna be form dot append, and then form, then method, which is equal to post. And then I'm going to add a break for new line. And now I can add some field to this form dot append. That will be input type text, and its name will be first name. Over here I need to add a text for first name, first name, and need to close a tag over here. And after this I'm going to add another field for last name. We form dot append and loss name, and then input type will be text, and the name, and then input field, and its type will be text, and name will be last name, over here I will add a single goes to, and the tag over here for this field. I need to add breaks after this br tag for new line, and over here too. And now I'm going to add a button. The type will be submit on dot append and input type. This will be button, type will be submit. Submit. And name also submit. And close the button tag. And after this, we just need to close the form. So, form dot append, and inside it, we need to add the close tag for the form. Now we can run this our servlet and see how our HTML form looks if we make a GET request to this servlet. We need to run on server and need to save the servlet too. I need to cancel this because we just added it to string builder. We need to print this form too, so we need a print writer. I will get a print writer by calling response method. Response dot get writer, and with this print writer we can print our form. I need to import Java IO for this print writer. Import java.io dot print writer. Before we can print the form, I'm going to set the content pw dot set content type that will be text or HTML. This tells what kind of response our servlet will be sending to the client. There's some mistake over here. That's a response matter. So it's gonna be response. Before getting the print writer, I will set its content type. Move it before we call get writer. And now we will call print writer's write method and pass in our form, which is a string builder, and call this function toString. Let's see, p dot write and pass in form dot toString. Now we can run our servlet and see how our form looks by making a GET request to this servlet. I'm just gonna save it before running. And then we can run from here. Run as on server. I'm using Tomcat. You can see our video how to install this, and then click on next, and then click on finish, and you can see this form is open. There's the issue with the button. Let me see what's that. There's a button tag and the submit tag is missing. That's why it's not showing up correctly. So I'm just gonna fix it. And now save it. And by making a new request, clicking over here, you can see the submit button. We can enter first name or last name, but nothing will happen because we don't have much code in our post method. This form will be submitted as a post, and it will go to this method of servlet, the post method, this post method. So we need to process that form in this post method and get those user entered value. Whatever user going to enter for first name and last name, we need to get those values in that doPost method and print those values. In the post method, I will use request objects method get parameter to get the values of those fields first name and last name, and also save in some variable. I will name them first name and last name of type string. First name and call request objects method get parameter and pass in the field name over here. You can see his first name. This one over here, first name. For the first name input field, so we need to give this name over here. Going to first name, and we will do same for last name. Going to be string last name, save into this variable by calling request objects method get parameter. This should be uppercase. And over here we are going to pass in this field's name, that is last name. It's gonna be, you can access these input fields by their name, so that's why we are giving this name and getting the user entered value back into our these variables. Now I'm just going to get the print writer like we did it before. I'm just going to copy this response, set content type up to this right, and going to modify just the right function and pass in our first name as last name instead of a form. So over here I will add first name and pass in first name. And then I'll add a break, so the last name will be printed on next line. Over here it's gonna be plus sign, and after this last name I think that's it, and it should work. Just need to save it and run and check if it works for us. And now on our form page I can enter a same for first name and equal for last name, and then click on submit button. It should go to our post method in a servlet and print first name and last name's value that we entered over here. Just click on submit. You can see over here it printed out first name, its value is same, and last name's value equal. So this is a simple servlet in Java, how to create a simple form and process that form in post method. We can create that form in doGet method. It's not very good way to add all those HTML code in servlet. It's better to use JSP if you want to show a lot of HTML code. Servlet are mostly used for processing simple text, such as just you want to print text or you want to use it as a web service or as a controllers. To keep on learning, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep supporting me, and thank you for watching.